Assalamualaikum to Dr. Farizan and my fellow friends. My name is AYOB ZANBERI, student ID S6 with my member Muhammad ZOHIRUDIN bin Khairudin and Hafizulhelmi bin Khairudin. So today we will be presenting about fiber optic transmission. Firstly, what is fiber optic transmission? Fiber optic communication is a method of transmitting information from one place to another by sending pulses of infrared light through an optical fiber. The light is a form of carrier wave that is modulated to carry information. Fiber is preferred over electrical cabling when high bandwidth, long distance, or immunity to electromagnetic interference is required. This type of communication can transmit voice, video, and telemetry through local area networks or across long distance. Optical fiber is used by many telecommunication companies to transmit telephone signal, internet communication, and cable television signal. Researchers at Bell Labs have reached a record bandwidth distance of over 100 petabyte kilometer per second using fiber optic communication. First developed in the 1970s, fiber optic have revolutionized through the telecommunication industry and have played a major role in the advent of the information age. Because of its advantage over electrical transmission, optical fiber have largely replaced copper wire communication in backbone networks in the developed world. Next is how it processed. The process of communicating using fiber optics involves the following basic steps. Firstly, we create an optical signal involving the use of a transmitter, usually from an electrical signal. Then we relay the signal along the fiber, ensuring that the signal does not become too distorted or weak. Then we receive the optical signal. Lastly, we convert it into an electrical signal. There are many applications of fiber optic transmission. Optical fiber is used by telecommunication companies to transmit telephone signal, internet communication, and cable television signal. This is because it has an advantage over copper wire in long distance and high bandwidth application. It is also have lower attenuation and interference. It is also used in other industries including medical, defense, government, industrial, and commercial.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad ZOHIRUDIN bin Khairudin. Matric number S60977. I would like to present principal advantages. Firstly is extremely high bandwidth. No other cable-based data transmission medium can match fiber's bandwidth. Fiber optic lines transfer far more data per unit of time than copper wires. Next is longer distance. In fiber optic transmission, optical cables are capable of providing low power loss, which enable signal can transmit to a longer distance than copper cable. Small size. Fiber optic cable has a very small diameter. For instance, the cable diameter of a single multimode fiber is about 2 mm, which is smaller than that of coaxial copper cable. Small size save more space in fiber optic transmission. Next is low security risk. Increased awareness of data security concern and the usage of alternative raw material are driving the growth of the fiber optic communication industry. In fiber optic transmission, data or signal are conveyed via light. As a result, there is no ability to listen in the electromagnetic energy leaking via the connection to detect the data being communicated, ensuring the absolute security of information. Next is lightweight. Fiber optic cable are thinner than copper wire and are constructed of glass or plastic. They become lighter and easier to install as a result of this. Adding new equipment to existing cable infrastructure is simple. Using fiber optic cable, new equipment may be added to existing cable infrastructure. Because optical cable has a far higher capacity than the cable that was originally installed. Wavelength division multiplexing technology, which include CWDM and DWDM, allow fibers lines to carry higher capacity. Resistant to electromagnetic interference. In practical cable deployment, settings such as power substation, heating, ventilation, and others industrial source of interference are unavoidable. Fiber, on the other hand, has an extremely low bit error rate to ESP. Due to its resistance to electromagnetic interference, the transfer of data using fiber optic is nearly noise-free.
Hi, my name is Hafizulhelmi bin Khairudin, and right now I would like to explain why is fiber optic transmission not used more widely. So first is cost is higher than copper cable. Second is difficult to install. Third is attenuation and dispersion. And next is fragility, and lastly is special equipment is often required. So the first disadvantage of fiber optic is cost is higher than copper cable. Despite the fact that fiber optic installation costs are dropping by as much as 16% a year, installing fiber optic cable is still relatively higher than copper cables, because copper cable installation does not need extra care like fiber cables. However, optical fiber is still moving into the local loop, and through technologies such as FTTX, fiber to the home premises, and PONS, passive optical network, enabling subscriber and end-user broadband access. Next is difficult to install. It is not easy to splice fiber optic cables, and if you bend them too much, they will break, and fiber cable is highly susceptible to becoming cut or damaged during installation or construction activities. All this make it difficult to install. Third is attenuation and dispersion. As transmission distance getting longer, light will be attenuated and dispersed, which requires extra optical component like EDFA to be added. And lastly is fragility. Usually optical fiber cable are made of glass, which land today are more fragile than electrical wires. In addition, glass can be affected by various chemicals including hydrogen gas, a problem in underwater cables, and making them need more care when deployed underground. So that's all from us. Thank you.